Hello and welcome to my unboxing and first look at the Space Marines Primaris Repulsor Executioner. It's like the Repulsor but with a bigger gun, much bigger gun, and less transport capacity. A normal Repulsor, if you know, can carry 10 Primaris, and one of these can only carry I think 6, and that's the same for the Impulsor. However, this will set you back £10 more, and this came out last year, and it was really the breaking point for me. Games Workshop having the audacity of releasing a £60 plastic tank alongside the £45 Adeptus Mechanicus Scorpius. Now, at least with the Scorpius, it was a dual kit in that you could make the Dune Rider, which is this hover tank type transport, or a hover type main battle tank for the Mechanicus, a fast tank that could fire and advance, which is pretty cool. This vehicle also has some wizardry and shenanigans going on in that if it doesn't move, it can fire twice because it's got these Aquilon optics or something. But anyway, that was kind of my limit, because I was used to paying £50–60 for 412 tanks. It wasn't that long ago that I bought Sakharin for 60 something or even 70, and that's worth it. It's a resin kit, it's got a lot more detail, it's an absolute joy to build. You get experience with all the magnets and the slippage and all kinds of excellent hobby experience with that one. So I thought that was quite audacious. I mean, yeah, it's not the most expensive model that Games Workshop do. That's usually the Castellan Knight for £100, or Archaon for £100, or even Mortarion. You know, but that is their limit, about £100. They haven't really pushed past that that price point yet. Anyway, I'm waffling on far too much. Here is the Executioner. So yeah, like I say, I didn't pick it up last year, and I kind of should have. But there's a lot going on. There are quite a few releases, such as the Chaos Knights, as well as this Executioner and the Scorpius as well. Anyway, it's here now, so I get to give you a first look at it, and I think I must be putting this unboxing up when all the 9th edition Primaris models are being released too. I like to kind of release videos and reviews and things in context, so hence why I released the Necron Seraptech, not far from when the new Necron models would come out. Okay then, so I've also got the Chaos Knights Codex, because I've got a Chaos Knight recently, and wanted to give you the full lowdown and a review of that. Here is the Executioner. Quite a thin box, only a few sprues I'm thinking. I'm not sure whether it's 2 sprues, but let's have a look at it. So there we go. It says Primaris Repulsor Executioner. You've got a choice here of building this ridiculous heavy laser destructor, or you can build it with a macro plasma incinerator, which is just the main weapon on a Redemptor Dreadnought. But this is the weapon that I will be equipping mine with. I may get another one later on down the line with the macro plasma incinerator, and then just fill it with Hellblasters. That seems like a good option. And there it is itself. There's the weapon. It looks a bit tubby. I wonder if it would have been better to have it you know, on its side, a bit like a plasma blast gun with 2 holes, but this is the way they're going with the plasma weapons right now. You've got a number of options. There's the heavy laser destroyer with some heavy bolters. Would have been nice if you could have las cannons in there instead. That would be incredible if you had twin link las cannon and that, and maybe a las talon. That would just be, you know, anti-armored kitted out. And yeah, you've got a Primaris jumping out the top with this Iron Hail heavy stubber. I wish they'd have some kind of fast-defying bolt weapon. Well, maybe even a heavy bolter on the top. Heavy bolter would just look so much cooler, I think, than these heavy stubbers. And then you've got a load of extras to put on the side of the tank. I think that's just the same sprue from the normal Repulsor. Okay, so let's crack on in here. Get this film off. So yeah, quite an expensive tank, £60. I think it's actually most expensive tank now, other than the Bane Blade from Games Workshop, which is £85. But then again, I remember when Bane Blades were the same price as this. It was quite a while ago though, we're talking about 13 years ago, that Bane Blades were £60. So things have happened, things have moved on since then. Let's have a look at this. So there's the instruction guide, we'll have a look at that first of all. I think it's 3 sprues, yep. So that's going to set you back £20 per sprue, which isn't too bad, especially when you compare it to the new Archaeopter. Yes, I read one of the comments that I was salty about that. I'm still salty. You know, £30 per sprue it's always ludicrous, but at least this one is only £20 per sprue. So although it's a high price, that's what you're getting. So the instruction guide just goes through a normal repulsor. If you built one of those before, they're very straightforward, except for the part where you get to this. No, the dreaded grav plates or repulsor plates. It's not a gravitic technology, is it? I keep getting it wrong. It's like a repulsor technology. It's like it's pushing rather than lifting, rather than pushing against a solid object to kind of lift a vehicle. It's really pushing it down into the ground, like crushing it almost. Really high energy stuff. So yeah, you get to this bit and then you look at the mold lines and then you tear all your hair out, and then after it's hit you with that, you've got to do it for the other side. But then you look at all the other parts and you go, okay, yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And then once you get through all of that drama, you're then able to enjoy the fun part. So this is the new part of the repulsor. You've got the heavy bolters here. You know, please put las cannons on instead. Oh, it frustrates me. Anyway, so this is the new top big turret assembly for the Executioner, and this is the awesome looking turret itself. You've got the nice sloped profile of the turret. It actually looks like a proper turret rather than just a very small thing that's just plonked on top of the normal repulsor. And you've got a heavy onslaught Gatling cannon, just not a small Gatling cannon, but a heavy one. So that's the main weapon that's on the old repulsor there. And this is the heavy laser destructor, like a miniature version of a turbo laser destructor. And then you've got the macroplasma incinerator there as well. So whichever one you go for, that's quite cool. It says don't glue these, you know, so don't glue them in there. So that is so that you can move it up and down, and quite possibly you may well be able to just pop the macroplasma incinerator in and out as you so wish. Then you've got the different sort of cupola, top gunner, top hatch options. This guy with his arm up, this guy really letting rip with the heavy stubber. Woo. And then just with the crew being sensible and keeping their heads inside. And then it just goes through the construction stages for each of those three options. I'm not really sure which one I'll go for. I haven't really decided. I might just go for the blank one, who knows. And then you've got a plethora of different little weapons and things. You've got 2 mini turrets, I want to say, with storm bolters there. You've got these auto launchers, which are just sort of strapped onto the sides. I do like the turret that it's got 2 rear-facing sort of slave mounted, slave systemed storm bolters. That's quite a cool aspect. I do like that, and I also like the rear gun as well. You know, the Iron Hail heavy stubber. That's quite cool. I'm not going to put all of that gumph on the sides of it. I put it on the original one and it kept falling off, and they keep breaking off. They don't have the proper mounts, other than, you know, that axe thing, which looks quite nice. They just don't have the proper mounts to mount them on the side of the tank, unfortunately. And then just a little look at the base, and we get a data sheet. Now this is an absolutely fantastic data sheet. It covers everything it possibly can. It covers all the rules, all the weapon profiles, the PowerPoints, the point costs, everything. This is the way it should be. Every single model for 8th edition or 9th edition should have this data sheet in as standard. Because although the options are very limited in what you can equip it with, you know, either the Plasma Incinerator or the Heavy Laser Destroyer, or the Iron Hail Heavy Stubber, or the Icarus Rocket Pod, which I think would go, I want to say it would go on the back. Oh no, it goes on the side anyway. But still, although you haven't got many options, it's not like a dual kit or anything, it's great that they've included everything they possibly can. So you can look whether you want to get an Icarus rocket pod on there, because, well, I speak for myself at least, that I like to look at the different weapons and go, oh well, that's quite a cool weapon, I might put that on it. You know, as I'm building models, I like to do that. And then you get the datasheet in different languages, and then you get quite a basic paint guide, and then you get an adequate paint guide, you know, for the red, the blue, the gold and the metal colours. That's all you really want, I guess, because the black would be quite straightforward to put together. So yeah, a good little instruction guide. I like the data sheet too. And then we've got the base stand, and we've got the 3 sprues. So these are the 2 sprues that you get with the Repulsor kit right here. We've seen these before. They're jam-packed. This is definitely what a 2017 sprue looks like. You know, lots and lots of pieces here. You've got the underside of the tank. You've got you've got one little extra part that goes on the side of the tank. You've got the sides. You've got the other sides, I want to say. You've got all the plates, the repulsor plates. Then this sprue is the other part of the tank. You've got the front, the rear, the top, all the doors, the energy couplings, and the energy couplings for the plates, and you've got the 4 thruster fan engines, because it is like I say it's a grav tank. It's, you know, it's got the lights, and it's got these extra bumpers, I want to call them, and exhausts, and it's got some and it's got a little Aquila badge thing. And then this is probably why you're here, why you're watching this video of the Executioner, because this is the completely new sprue for the Repulsor, which again is as tightly packed. It's the same size as the others. Yeah, and it's very tightly packed. It's got a lot of options here. You've got the main weapon, you've got the 2 main weapons there, you've got the heavy stubber, you've got a new Primaris popping out of the hatch there, which is always a welcome. I always would, I'd rather them include Space Marines popping out of hatches than not, because then that at least gives you the option. You've got the auto launchers, and the barrels for the exit ports for the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon. You've got the other gumph and stuff, the little extras to put on the side of the tank. Yeah, you've got the 3 main parts of the turret assembly. You've got the frag launcher, little comms array thing, ammo boxes. They're the heavy bolters as well. Auto launchers again. Yeah, very jam-packed sprue, and this is incredible. This is the main reason why you'd get it. Yeah, fantastic. Really looking forward to building this and comparing it to the normal, the standard repulsors. One final note is you do get a transfer sheet from 3 years ago, just a vehicle transfer sheet, and you do get one of these bases to stop the stand on once you've constructed it. So yeah, really looking forward to building this. What do you guys think of this Repulsor Executioner? They say this is the Primaris equivalent of a Razorback. Wow, I mean, looking forward to seeing what a full main battle tank looks like for Primaris, because this seems like it's got an absolutely incredible weapon that blows everything out of the water, sort of rules-wise at least. Yes, you've got the Astreus, which is the super heavy tank for the Primaris, and you've got the Overlord, which is the main super heavy transport flyer for the Primaris, which I'm just sure Forge World have been working on over the past few years. You know, the Astreus was lovely, it's a huge success, and I can't wait to see the Overlord. I'll definitely be adding one to my collection. Hopefully it won't be too far in the distant future. Put your thoughts and opinions down below as always. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. the Emperor protects.